Terry and Tamara?
Tamara, did you want a reading?
I'd love one.
Okay.
Then we have our 4.
All right.
Okay.
I know she messaged how to get in, so.
Right.
So
right.
it's so exciting. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Okay, who was the first one here? Kathy?
Juliet, Beth, Terry, and then Tamara.
Welcome, guys. Welcome. So we're gonna
Hi, good night, everyone.
Hi, Juliet, and welcome. So I'm gonna need, when you guys come up, I'm just gonna need some information from you. I just need to know your birthday, time you were born, and location. Okay, where you were born at, and then just a few minutes for me to look up your alignments. Also, then Stacy will ask you a few questions pertaining to what kind of healing you want, either a tarot session, Reiki session, or if you need a clearing, she'll mention that. Just mention that to her. And if you don't know your time, it's perfectly fine. Just let us know. That way we can ask your higher self close to a roundabout time.
Very good.
Okay, so what is your birthday?
6/10/1970. I was born at 9 a.m. in Port of Spain, Trinidad.
Okay, go a little slow, Juliet. You're going to need to, I'm dyslexic, so I need you guys to go slow for me.
Okay, sorry about that. Yes, 6/10/1970. Yeah.
Port of Spain,
We're
Trinidad.
talking June. Are we talking?
Yes.
Are we talking June?
Yes, June 10th, 1970.
At 9 a.m.
9 a.m., Port of Spain, Trinidad. Okay.
And I would like a tarot reading because my finances still hasn't gotten good yet. It's still a challenge for me. And that's basically my priority right now because, when you are unable to pay your rent, because of financial challenges and you're unable to pay your statements, they call bills and all these things. It's just a constant getting up every day and the phone is ringing and emails are coming in and text messages. Everybody's demanding a payment, which I don't have a problem with. The only problem I have, I cannot find employment because it's challenging too. And nobody seems to want to, be patient enough and wait till things change. So today being the 10th day of January, I just would like to know what's out there for me because I'm really starting to get uncomfortable about my finances. It's really starting to weigh me down sometimes, not like all day, every day, but sometimes it's very, very uncomfortable.
Okay. I'll be glad to say what I can get for you. Okay.
Okay, Juliet, can I get did you give the city? I didn't get that.
Yes.
Is it Trinidad? Port of what?
Port of Spain, Trinidad.
Okay, I see it.
And Julia, I was also getting that you was needing an attachment clearing. Would you like for me to do that for you too?
Okay, can you explain briefly what is an attachment clearing?
Yes. So sometimes we have attachments in our bodies. And those can be like negative thoughts, earthbound. It could be dark energy. And so I was shown that you were needing an attachment clearing, and usually people feel much lighter and better after that.
Yeah.
I was shown that you needed that also, and I was also getting tarot for you too when I was asking the spirit what you need. But I always like to ask permission to do the attachment clearing.
Sure, I'm open to it.
Okay.
So I'm going to mute now, okay, so I can listen to what you're saying.
Hold on here. I'm still looking up I'm trying to find your alignments here.
Okay, Brad, I have her transits if you want me to go over that first so you can look that up.
Yeah, you can. I'm still looking up on my software. It's not coming up on my software for her city, so.
Okay. Okay. Because I practice, and let me know if my phone goes out, because I'm not at home. So let me know if you don't hear me. But I do not practice the same type of astrology as Brad. And I practice the Indian Vedic astrology. And I'm not going to give you the signs unless you want me to, because we follow sidereal, which is the actual sky movement. And I don't want to confuse you a lot of people are married to their tropical. So I don't want to confuse anybody unless you want to know. I'm just going to tell you what I see. Okay. So
I'm open to what you have to say.
What I see right now is you do have Mars retrograde transiting your first house. And your first house is your identity, who you are in the world, how you show yourself to the world. So right now, because it's retrograde, you have already been going through some things. It does tell me that you are probably upset about the way your life is going right now, because Mars is a very aggressive, can be strategic type of planet. It doesn't do well in the sign that it's in, so I can hear that you are having, I understand that. This is a transit, and like I said, it is retrograde right now, and it's going to go back. Right now, like I said, it's in your house of identity. So people might be seeing that you are upset. So, but that's not a shock from what you just said. You know, when you don't have work, that can be very upsetting. Now, what I do find interesting is you will next year, I would say probably about summertime, you are going to see a shift, and some things are going to be changing for you. Right now, I would say lean on your friends, because you have Jupiter right now transiting your 11th house of social activities, homes. It's also a good time to give out that resume to corporations. So although you're having a hard time finding work, don't give up. Start networking. This is the house of networking and friends. So keep that in mind, that it's being blessed this year. And that's also where I'm seeing your sun, your natal sun, and your natal Mercury is there. So that's to take the opportunity to talk to friends, talk to people, network. That's going to be your saving grace right now, is for you to talk to people. Don't be ashamed. Don't hold back, and network. If you don't know of any community places that you can hang out at, find them. Start talking. This is going to be what's going to really help you out with this work situation, is the friends. The friend zone is going to be the place where you're going to really find a lot of these answers. Now, Jupiter is going to be moving in your 12th house. I'd say later in I keep saying next year. I forget we're in a new year. Jupiter's going to be moving in your 12th house. Now, 12th house is the house of endings. So it does tell me that you do have blessings coming in, but it's not going to just come in. Like I said, work with the friends, start social networking, getting out there and letting need. Because I feel like right now people might be picking up that you are upset, and they may not want to bother you, but you need to let them know it's okay to come let me, you know what I mean? Just kind of let them know that you are right now still looking. I just feel like something's with the friends. Now, like I said, as the year proceeds, it is going to move into your 12th house. I don't know if you've ever worked in hospitals or done anything like that, but that could be a place where you could find a lot of good blessings and good things coming your way, confinement. So you might even find yourself doing prison work, like maybe even doing some sort of like an outreach with prison or the hospitals, or just working with the elderly, something like that. I can kind of see as the year progresses, your networking might lead you in that area. Let me see what else I see. Oh, look at having a nodal return this year. That's like saying that you have been pretty much on a clock. Everybody has a nodal access in their chart, and the nodes are where we find our eclipses every year. So for you, I'm trying to see, you're having your nodal return, and it's going to be in your second house where you have your values and where you get money. So it could be that I see a lot of changes coming for you as the year progresses. I know you've had a hard time. Now, having the nodal return in the second house might even lead you to give away all your possessions, or just because your something about your value system, that's your calling in life. That's kind of like a past life area, because that's where the South Node has been. That's where it appeared in your natal chart, as well as your moon. So there's a lot of anchoring with your mother and values, because the moon a lot of times is your psychological outlook, but it's also your mother. So if your mother's still with us, she's going to be very pivotal, and you're going to need to really keep up with her. If you're still having your mother in your life, keep up with her. But this isn't going to happen until summer of this year. The nodes in the sidereal system are, so that means that your 8th house of other people's money, that's where it might start popping off, where you might even get inheritances sent your way this year. But basically, I do see that you do have changes coming in, and also that node, I don't know if, I'm just looking over at everything that you have in your chart. You do work really hard, because you did end up, I don't know if Brad's going to see this, because sometimes the alignments are a little bit different with the systems, but I'm going to wrap it up by saying that when it comes to work, you do work really hard, but I do see a lot of changes coming in for you, but you need to get through the beginning part of the year and lean on the friends. So I'm going to leave it there.
A little bit of software
Brad, I
issues.
saw you coming in.
On the location here.
Okay,
so
sorry about that.
I'm going to let Stacey take it over.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's not letting me pull up her location on my software, so I can't look at her transits or anything. I don't know why that is. I'm still trying to figure that out. So I'm going to let Stacey take my turn for now. And if I can get it up and running, then we'll go.
Thank you so much, the lady with the sidereal. Thank you so much.
Okay, let's see if I can get my video going here. So I did like a past, present, future for your finances to see what it would come up with. So the first card I got was the Devil. So if asking about the your past position and you get the Devil, there might be a phase where you felt stuck, maybe in a toxic environment, facing unethical practices, or getting caught in the trap of materialism. And this points to a time when you were perhaps too focused on material gains. but I realize now you have to have the stuff to pay bills. It was a challenging time, pushing you to reevaluate what truly matters to you and to perhaps take steps to free yourself from situations that were not serving your highest good. So this is in the past. So in the future, or the current position, you got the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands in the present position means that there may be a new opportunity for growth and success that's emerging. So it's going to require bold action and innovation to fully realize its potential. So it's signifying that you're being presented with a chance to demonstrate your skills and to make significant advances in your professional life. It advises you to approach these opportunities with enthusiasm and confidence and ready to take the initiative and to apply your creativity and determination to achieve your goals. So that's a really good card for the present. It's very light and airy, very action-oriented card. And then the future, I got the Strength. It's very bright, and she's tamed the beast. So that's very good that you have strength in the future with your career. So the strength, it just means you're asserting your capabilities and you're moving forward with determination, resilience to achieve your goals. You may be finding yourself taking on leadership roles, demonstrating your skills in unprecedented ways. Encourage you to confidently showcase your abilities and ensuring success through perseverance and clear vision of your career path, which makes me think maybe you're setting yourself like too low when you're applying for jobs. Maybe you should be going for higher jobs than what you're applying for. If you're applying for stuff that's out there and you think, oh, they would never take me, but I'm showing you have the stuff that they need. You have the strength to do it. You just need to assert yourself and go after it. So that's just kind of giving you some confidence to do it. And I just kind of asked about any kind of advice. So it's just saying that you've been worrying a lot, which makes sense. It's just causing you to feel anxious, as it hasn't happened yesterday, right? Do not be tempted to bury that thought, but instead find your inner strength to go ahead and confronting them head on, and that there are others around you that are willing to help you and care for you too. So this is like a full family. So don't make sure to lean on family. So you may have family members to put that out there. Say, hey, does anybody know anybody hiring? If you haven't done that already, and just go after jobs that maybe you were thinking in your mind you didn't have enough education or enough experience, because you might be surprised that you have the strength to do it. So I hope that helps you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Can I?
You want to say something, Teresa? I can't hear you, Teresa.
Lisa, you have to go out and come back in.
Brad, were you able to pull hers up? Her location?
Giving me some issues. I can look at some of her alignments, but I can't look at her houses or anything.
Okay, sorry about that. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, Teresa.
Okay. I was just saying that the strength card that you pulled matches what I told her about the Leo. The Leo.
Yeah, the Leo.
Because it's the card of Leo, and her question was about work. And the first card you pulled is the card of Capricorn, and we are sidereal will be entering the Capricorn season mid January, because we're a sign behind tropical.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was really interesting. The cards that you pulled were actually matching what I see in her natal chart.
Yeah,
so I just
that's
wanted
really
to say
cool.
that.
Well, she has a Virgo
Yeah.
moon. That's what I see. So the Virgo moon, you're really actually active and wanting to work and get things done. You're really much an empath, so you have to protect your energy. Juliet, like I feel that already, just with you coming in, like your energy already. And from what I can see, because my chart's kind of blocked, I had to go to another site that I don't regularly use, or another software to look at your chart, and this doesn't give me any of the houses or anything, so I kind of have to wing it. But from what I'm seeing, that you have this 1 degree Virgo moon, you're gonna have to protect your energy, because I mean, you do. People who have placements with like 1 degree, 0 degrees are like spiritual sponges, so they tend to collect residue of people's energy, and they're very sensitive to energies, and that's just kind of how your mindset is. It's like going out and you feeling all this new energy, you feeling the energy of other people. It does have an effect on you. Being that you're kind of a person that doesn't like, you like things to go in certain boxes, check marks, kind of almost a perfectionist. So you kind of have to be on your guard for that regard. Other than that, from what it's showing me, you have a 24 to 6 degree alignment in Taurus in your Mercury, which is pretty high. I almost want to say you got a powerful voice. You are very much a person that makes things make sense for you. And you're very practical in how you think in your thought process. Another perfectionist type of energy, thinking before you speak, being able to speak slowly and carefully, being able to direct that thought and communication to many people, for them to understand. So that's a key thing. I think one of your gifts is being able to share that kind of information to people, being able to have that clear communication, that clear vision of reality is kind of important. And also your Venus, which is also kind of interesting, being that it's in 22 degrees Cancer. This part of yourself is a nurturer. You need emotional support yourself, but you're willing to give it to others. But that's kind of the key, is like you have to be loved to be able to love someone else. And I feel like you're just a lighthouse in that regard, and people just kind of gravitate to you. It's kind of like the mom of all moms kind of or that's how you love people, and you feel that way of everybody in your circle, kind of deal. I don't know what house it's in because I can't really see, but I can tell you that everything's kind of aligned for what they're saying, and I'm pretty sure you're probably in your 10th house. Your moon sign is, and that's probably why it's connected to your work. I'm not sure though if it is, but it sounds like it would be.
Okay, well, I'll share this with you before you go further. When you talk about protecting my energy, I do that on a daily, because I don't have a circle of people that I hang out with, because I already got from spirit ever since to protect my energy. There were things I was told to do that I am doing, and it is working when it comes to protecting my energy. Yes, I'm an empath. I'm very super sensitive. I pick up people's vibration like in an instant.
Yes.
But I'll share this with you. This morning I had a dream where I saw 2 light beings outside of the entrance exit door in the building where I live.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the reflection of the light in front of the door. So I knew there was someone out there, but it didn't appear to be people in the flesh. It appeared to be light beings. And they were trying to push something under the door, because I have this this thing that I had to bolt on the door to protect the outside rodents that may be coming into the building. I think it's called a bar or something like that. It's rubber. Mm-hmm. So because the space on the ground and the door had a vent, I had to put that bar on the inside of the door to protect me from having any problems with insects and rodents coming into the building. So they were trying to push some stuff under there, and I stand up in the spirit watching that and watching the light. The light was very bright, the shadow of who was outside, and I saw an envelope, but I did not know what it had in the envelope, and it was thick because they were just trying to push it in so I can get it, even though they weren't trying to come in. And as I was seeing that, my phone rang and woke me up, and I lost the dream. And I was a little bit ticked off because I wanted to know if it was a message for, cash coming in or something like that. And I kept it with me all day. And I said, you know what? When you do the reading tonight, I will share it with you all just to find out if that is an indication or a message, because everything that I encounter on a daily, I apply the synchronicity principle. It's like the universe communicating to me through numbers, through situations and stuff. So I pay attention to all these things, and I actually read into it. And that dream that I had this morning, I decided to share it with you. If you can give me, a bit of insight into it, I don't know, but that's what I felt.
So if you are getting all synchronicities in these different dreams, they could be generally your guides communicating with you, if that's how you immediately feel, because you're such an empath that your immediate reactions to things usually is right. Usually is how it is. So I almost want to say that definitely your energy is being protected, because I tried to look up your chart with my just on your area of my chart. It hasn't done this before, and it literally wouldn't let me. So I had to go to another source and recalibrate and reset again. But which is interesting. But you do have a lot of I would say alignments that are geared towards having kind of precog dreams and premonitions like that in your chart. Like a lot of them are really high in the degrees. They're in that degree range of having dreams or vivid dreams, astral traveling kind of precog. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's what you're doing pretty regularly. Like you're just getting these kind of thoughts, and then they become reality. Because there's some people that have that. I think it's because let me see, let me look it up again, because I kind of went away from the page here. But your sun's at 19 degrees, so I mean, you could definitely be having that a lot, and especially since it's in that middle range, it's gonna definitely, a lot of people who have that in between 15 and 20 degree range have a lot of vivid dreams. A lot of people do that I've been doing readings with, which is very interesting. So
you're correct. I do astral travel a lot now. Because I do my meditation, and I do my intermittent fasting, like even more hours out of the day now. So I feel the spiritual ascension happening, but to be honest, sometimes I feel pulled back into 3D, because the reality is to live, I have to have money to spend for things like rent or light or gas or whatever the case is. That is why I said sometimes I am not thinking about it, and sometimes my mind goes in that area and I start to get uncomfortable. Like it happened to me today, but I was able to control it and just move my mind away from it, because things are what it is, and I'm a very responsible person. So when I'm unable to meet my responsibilities, which this is really the first time, I've always been a hardworking person. I used to work 7 days a week. I did it for so long that I lost myself, but I didn't care, because I had my sister to pay for her college tuition. I had my mother to help out. So it was all on me. And I was thankful for the opportunity to do it. But the time had came when I believe the universe said, okay, you need to to rest. You need to take a break. So from 2021, May of 2021, I have not been working, and I have been living off my resources that I saved over the years. Thankfully, I was smart enough to do certain things, but it's almost done, like really done, So now, I'm
I get what
waiting
you're
for
saying.
the other phase of my life, because I go to interviews and I'm thinking, okay, I say what I have to say, I submit what I have to submit. Everybody seems to be pleased with what I have to offer, but then I would not get a call back. No one would call me. This is nothing like common with me. I've always been working. I've always had jobs. I've always had a job. So when I go to an interview confident and everything is accepted.
Listen, the interview, it's I get the interview parts. I would say basically trust in the universe that maybe it's having you slow down and just examine that maybe right now it's probably trying to recreate or recalibrate you, and maybe you're not having a job. It's the universe telling you to take a breath and take a breather. It might be that to be the case, but what I would also say to this is to probably book a private session with either me or Stacy to try to figure that out more privately, because this is a matter that probably would take a little bit more time in figuring out. But from what it sounds like to me, it's a message from the universe that maybe you're on a cycle to maybe have you slow down and maybe cultivate something else within yourself. Or maybe it might not be the right timing for you.
I agree. Thank you so much. I just needed some guidance and advice on this, because I
And
pay
Juliet,
attention to everything.
I always said, if I went into an interview, if it's not for me, if it's not where I'm supposed to go, don't even let them call me back, because I don't want to go someplace that God didn't want me to go to, and unless it was someplace that I was meant to go to. So I didn't even want to have to choose between 4 different places and have that choice, right? I wanted only the ones that really wanted me. And sometimes I would get multiple offers, and so then I would have to sit there and choose. So I would take your dream as a positive thing, that you had angels or guides that were trying to give you something. Maybe they wanted to give you a gift, they wanted to give you a note of encouragement. And I send you a DM too, just so you would know what I removed. And you had negative thoughts that were coming from yourself. So maybe just listen to some more affirmations for yourself, especially before you go to an interview. So I wish you luck on finding something soon.
Please,
Yes,
and drink
thank you
some
so
water.
much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, drink some water too, Juliet, and just meditate. I would also say play affirmations. Having attachments, sometimes we question ourselves, we question our moves and motives that we actually sometimes do, even though we might be in the right. And sometimes it's just the universe just trying to align us to our highest good. So make sure you drink plenty of water, and let us know how it works for you. Okay.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Awesome. Okay.
Next, we have Beth next.
Beth? Okay, Beth. Hello, how are you doing today?
Beth, you have to hit your blue button. It'll turn green and allow you to speak.
Do I have it now?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Can we get your birthday, time you were born, and location, please?
Yes, I was born December 13,
Okay.
1959.
Okay.
And my location, is that of my birth? You want where I was?
Yeah, what city were you born at?
Augusta, Maine.
Augusta, Maine? Okay.
Yeah.
And what time
were
you born?
6:12 a.m.
6:12 a.m. Okay. Give me a minute here. I'm going to look up your chart. I think, did you hear that, Teresa? I didn't know if she heard it too. But,
I didn't get the time.
6:12 a.m. And I'm gonna look up our chart here. And Stacy, did you need any information here as well?
So Beth, I do Reiki, and Reiki is a Japanese healing technique that focuses on stress reduction and pain reduction. I do that remotely, and I also do chakra balancing, along with pendulum dowsing, attachment clearing, tarot, and oracle cards too. So I was just kind of going through my list. I did get something. I did get tarot was something that you would want. Did you have something that was that spoke to you?
Yeah, the tarot and the. I'm wondering what's going on with my shoulders and my neck. Feel like they're almost frozen, and I'm been really having a problem with that for the last month or so.
Okay, you said your neck and what was frozen?
Shoulder.
Your shoulder, your neck. Okay.
Beth?
Yes.
Is there a special way to spell Augusta? Because I'm not getting anything.
Augusta.
Okay.
It's a capital of Maine, so it should come up.
Yeah, I found it on here, my chart here. So,
I live in Winthrop now, which is about 10 miles out. That's all.
Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, you just to check your chart, just looking at it, you already have a high spiritual alignment in Sagittarius, 20 degrees, and it's in your first house. So I already know that you know who you are right now, okay? Because the first house is, you're really stepping into your power right now, having this strong will, knowing you radiate energy to people. I know that you kind of have, you're like a attractor for people right now energetically. People just like this for you to be around your energy. You have high enthusiasm. You perceive life as a challenge. It's almost like you don't want to give up, even though you know that things has kind of been a lot of pressure for you. And because of that Sagittarius alignment, you're a very sharp-tongued person. You don't hold back on what you want to say.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that kind of came out about 20 years ago.
Yeah, you got a lot of fire in there.
I can't do the bullshit. I always say I'm not the weather girl. I can't just talk about the weather. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you have a lot of fire in there, okay? I mean, you got a lot of fire and air, and basically because you do have a spiritual alignment in your sun sign, and then you have a really empathic alignment in your moon sign, which is a Gemini moon, which causes you to you're very much an empath like me as far as your moon's for. So you're really good at feeling energies. I almost wanted to say you have to protect your energy a lot. Okay, because you're around a lot of people. Your moon's in your 6th house. So, but since it's in Gemini, okay, like, and I have a Gemini moon too. We're very high, nervous, high-strung people. Okay, we like to talk about everything, our feelings, or what's going on for the day. More of our feelings. Talk about everything under the sun. And then it's hard to keep our brains from going 100 miles a minute at nighttime. We just can't wind down.
Yeah.
Sometimes what you have to do is learn how to try to use affirmations, reprogram your subconscious, meditate. And by meditating, I mean just by playing even just certain frequencies is meditation. Sitting in the music and listening to it and just basking in it is meditation. We don't have to make things very hard for ourselves, but it's a lot of times we do. This right here makes you very, you have great discernment skills. You're really good spot on when you're spot on with things. It can be a little hard on yourself. So you have to kind of lighten up on yourself, because Gemini moons, we're very versatile and shrewd, but we're very critical of ourselves when we make mistakes sometimes. So just lighten up on being hard on yourself. And since it's in your 6th house specifically, that's why I said you can be real hard on yourself, because the 6th house wants to be, is hypersensitive and wanting to help others and also be of service to themselves. Like, so basically it's like you see how the world is, you want to kind of fix the world. At the same time, it will make you kind of nervous and high-strung and sensitive emotionally to a lot of reactions, and you kind of have to retreat and and kind of gather your thoughts sometimes, and because the sixth house wants to be really demanding on itself. It wants to be critical on itself. It doesn't like to make mistakes. It kind of be there, you know? So, I feel like you'll be at your best when you're able to serve other people and learn to come to terms with your sensitivity and become to feel more secure with your emotions, because honestly, you got like, one of your gifts is your voice and how you put context to things. You got a Mercury at 29 degrees and it's 12th house. Your problem is, because it's in your 12th house, which is the house of introspect and secrets, it's like you have a voice that can reach people to the soul, but it's like you kind of mute yourself. You kind of hold back on wanting to say what you want to say, because the 12th house is, you're seeing all this stuff. You're seeing everything with a fine-tooth comb. You can almost perceive people's intellect and their judgment of character so well. And it's like almost psychically, it's almost that scary. But at the same time, it's like something inside of you is telling you, man, I shouldn't share this out because I don't want people to think I'm crazy, or I shouldn't share it at all. It's like it wants you to be mute right now and take everything in. So,
my problem is I don't know what happened. I think there was too much noise out there. I don't know what happened. But honestly, in the last 20 years, I am down to, like, I don't have a friend or a family member anymore that I speak to.
Yeah.
And right now, I just lost my car, so I can't go out and get a job. I feel like I'm in a freaking box, and I don't know what to do, and I don't know why I'm here.
Yeah,
you know,
that's one of the things to combat that is the combat the 12th house. You have to surround or find yourself people that match the same frequency as you. That's the one thing to combat the 12th house, because the 12th house is forcing you. It's forcing you to isolate yourself, and you have to find people that share the same kind of numinous connection with the cosmos to kind of be able to share that information that you're discovering, to get out, to have that kind of relatable frequency. That combats the house of secrets, when you can find people to talk about it with. Because right now the universe is kind of keeping you away from everyone, withdrawn within yourself, making you avoid communicating with others, or falling prey to kind of forms of self-deception with everything, because it wants you to kind of soak in on what you're perceiving before you go out to share it, before you get to your next house.
Because I'm afraid, like, I always feel like I put my foot in my mouth and I go, oh my God, I sound crazy. I can't tell people what I think, and I got to stop that, and it makes me not want to go out.
Right. But trust me, people want to hear what you have to say. Now, if you put context,
some of them don't.
Yeah, right. Well, you go deep in context.
When people are ascending and everything, I think I'm on the ascension path, and everybody else is talking about the weather, and I just can't do it. It makes me cringe.
You were meant to be talking about what you're talking about, okay?
Right.
Because you have a unique standpoint. There's not everybody who's awake that knows all this information like you do. There's certain souls that's here chosen for this position, and you're lucky to be. You're one of them. You're one of them. Okay.
Can you say that again?
Definitely are.
Can you say
There's
that
certain
again?
souls that are chosen to be here for this position, to be awake, knowing certain information. The fact that you're aware of it, you're already ahead of the curve.
Is that true, really? Oh, because I keep thinking that, and then I go, "Oh no, you're crazy. You're not. There's nothing special about you.
You're not crazy. You're not crazy."
Thank you for saying that.
Okay, you're not crazy for knowing this. Now, the fact is, what's making them drive you crazy is isolating yourself and putting yourself around. That's why I said you have to put yourself around like-minded people who think like you.
Right, but now I can't even leave my driveway because I live in rural Maine and we don't even have public transportation. The thing is,
you have an app like Telegram that can do that for you. You know, find groups of like-minded groups like this.
I say online. Okay.
You know, there's tons of people that come on and hear this app, and we kind of unify together and we share information. You don't have to go. You don't have to leave anywhere.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd like to be able to. I'm getting really like, oh my God, what is happening? I feel like I'm just supposed to be kept in this box, and it's like, oh my God, it's kind of scary right now.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, I see that within your chart. The only other thing you see also, Beth, is, and then I'll just sum it up and I'll pass this on here. you have that rising in Sagittarius in 8 degrees. So you do have a lot to say. Your Jupiter's in Sagittarius.
Yeah.
You got a lot of Sagittarius in your chart. Mars is in Sagittarius.
Yep. Wow.
I would say check your DM when we're done.
Okay.
Because Kathy will send you something here. Also, your Jupiter being in Sagittarius and it's in his first house, you know exactly who you are. You know exactly who you are. You're really abundant. You're good at the material good side of life. Your consciousness is expanded. Okay, you see things. You don't let things bog you down. You always you know that you can solve problems once you're able to solve those problems. That's a good positive thing because it keeps you optimistic. It keeps you in that positive environment. This is what's keeping you going. That Jupiter alignment for you is keeping you optimistic. It's keeping you positive, even when you're seeing, being by yourself. I just say keep being expansive. Keep doing what you're doing. You were exactly aligned with where you're supposed to be right now.
I am? Oh, wow.
Universally, yeah.
Okay.
You're exactly where you're supposed to be. You're just far away from someone, so it's hard to perceive it. You got to understand that, there's certain souls that's here, that's placed in all these different locations far away from each other for a reason, because every area kind of needs a person that's there to kind of maintain the ship, so to speak, maintain the vibrations. And sometimes you can get lonely being out there by yourself around a lot of people who aren't awake. So you need a spiritual tune up yourself.
Yeah. There's like when I go to the store, people look like zombies to me. They don't even look like they're really, I don't know what's happening. It's like they are so checked out. Everybody, it seems like.
Yeah.
Is that a normal thing? I mean, they just seem like they're
it
glassed
could be,
over.
depending on where you're at. Yeah, it could be. I mean, there's a lot of new souls here. You'd be surprised how many people aren't awake, like fully.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not surprised at all because I see the chaos out there, and it's like, whoa, something's happening.
Right. I'm gonna let either Teresa or Stacy take over from this.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh,
and
that really helps.
And Kathy said for you to check your messages if you can. And if you know. Okay, great.
Okay, thank you.
Stacy, do you mind if I take this since we're still on astrology?
Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so what I'm seeing right now for you is Beth, you're very intense. And I think
I am.
That might be what like you said, you've kind of put some people off and some people have left your life and you've left some people's life. It's because you have a lot of energy going into your first house of and your first house is you. It's your identity. It's your body, how people see you. And you have a stellium of planets in the first house. I think Brad mentioned that. So I just keep that in mind when you're dealing with people. Don't let that upset you, because you in this lifetime, you've worked through a lot of karma and a lot of karmic events. And that is why so many people have been taken out of your life. It's, you know what I mean? It happens with some people.
Is
now,
that what that is?
What I do see though, it's everybody comes in the world with karma. Right. And not only did you come in with karma, and you'll usually find where that's at by looking at where Saturn landed in your natal chart, because it's bringing in the karma from the past. And then we all have to work through it, or either we're creating new karma. This is kind of how the teachings go in Vedic astrology with the Indian belief. That we're all working through things in our life. And for you, it just so happened to be so a lot of people, even I'm going to say mainly this year, may have even been confused, because I have a feeling this year you really stood out, because the node of the nodes is where we're having the eclipses, and the eclipse for you you had a partial return on the eclipse. So what I mean by partial is when I told Juliet she's next year or this year, I keep saying next year, got to get used to we're in 2025.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
This year the nodes are moving. So right now they are so the south node right now is where your natal north node is. And the north node is where your natal south node is. So what the
do in your life is they're kind of like a clock, and they're like hands on the clock. And every 12 years, you have things you have to complete in your life. So you're going through with all the different eclipse patterns because they're moving backwards. All the planets go forward, but the eclipse pattern goes backwards. And we're all working through things that we need to do in our life. So you'll have things that are pushing you forward. That's where you're going to find the north node. And then you'll have things that you did in your past life or things that you need to let go of to be more spiritual. That's the south node. And basically,
is that why I'm having so many endings?
Hold on a second.
Like that was for 2024,
let me
but
turn
I
my
had
car
a
back.
tremendous.
Okay, now I can hear you. I'm sorry, my phone. I turned my car off and then the phone went out.
I can hear you much better. Okay.
Okay. Sorry about that. I'm just going to leave it on for now. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is...
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead and ask the question.
I'm having so many endings, and some man just wanted to come back and meet me, and I couldn't even get past the way that he asked me to meet him. It was done. I couldn't take it how he asked me. I just go, nope, that's it. Bye. You're gone.
Well, you're working through right now. When I say partial return, like I said, there's a clock, and it's moving you to do your. Everybody has destined things they have to do in their life, right. And this year, like I was telling Juliet, she's met her destiny, so the clock is going to reset for her. For you, you're halfway through. You're only halfway through. So it'll remove people, it'll remove events to get you so that when you have your full nodal return, you are basically where you need to be. Everybody goes through this. That's why the eclipses are drastic for some people. I mean, they're like losing their house, they're getting divorced. And for other people, it's like they're getting promotions and it's like they don't even notice anything. So that's what I'm saying. Because the eclipse pattern, the way it was sitting, it actually triggered all of these planets in your first house, your house of identity. So these transits, they don't last long. They don't last forever, except for the slow moving ones, which is like Jupiter, Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune. They move really slow. They are just like turtles. They move really. The rest of them, Jupiter, you can go through that one in like a year, and then it's on to the next sign. But what I'm looking at mainly is your identity. For a lot of people, went through a lot of changes this year, and then it's going to be moving. Let me see. It's moving. It's actually, because like I said, they move backwards, so they don't go forward with the planets, so they're going to be moving backwards. So I feel like this year, that's what was really setting off a lot of things for you happening. But also, is your mother still alive?
No, she just passed a couple years ago.
Okay. Because the Jupiter went through your 12th house. I mean, your I'm sorry, not 12th house. Your 7th house. And that's also where your moon is. So that's why I brought up your mother. So you may, to other people, you might be like on it right now emotionally and your psyche. I think that's why you're picking up on a lot of things that are going on. And a lot of people probably don't know how to deal with a lot. You see a lot. I don't know. This year was a very pivotal year for you emotionally, for people to see a lot in your character, and they may have been like, you were really on fire. I don't know how else to say this, because there's a lot going through that first house.
But it caused me to isolate, though. It caused me to like, oh, I don't belong here. Like,
well, because it can be that energy of the nodes can be very upsetting if you don't, or it can be energizing. It can go either way, but that was the focus. So the focus for you was mainly, I don't know if you have children, but that's where the focus was. Your creativity was probably on fire. And but because you had a partial nodal return, it may have been very confusing, because it's trying to set you in the right direction of your path in life. See, the nodes are your path. They're where what you're supposed to be doing, where you're supposed to be going, and they move and they're shifting and they're trying to get you back on your path. So if you if you come off your path, you're going to get pushed back on it. And that's what it's doing right now.
Oh, man.
But you're very intense.
Does that, like, everything I tried, a new job, my knee went out. So that was the end of that job. I tried another job, something else happened. It's like, is that what it's resetting me again? I feel like I'm being reset all the time.
Well, for you, they're in the 5th and the 6th house. So the 6th house is where the North Node landed in your natal chart. So that is your path in life. So 11th, I'm sorry, I'm getting my houses mixed up. 5th house for you is past life. So I don't know if you have children. If you don't in this life, you had a hell of a lot in the past life. You did a lot with children in the past life.
I feel this
life, this life, it's more about social networks and friends. You are the go-to person. And if you haven't been, that's where you're supposed to be with this partial nodal return. You're supposed to be the person that we all go to, like, well, we'll just call Beth. She'll know this. She'll know that.
And that's how it always was until, like, I would say 10, maybe 20 years ago. And everybody started dropping away from my life, even my daughter. I haven't seen my daughter in 10 years.
Well, I don't know if you've contacted your daughter or not, but that's that she landed in that past life area. So right now, the South Node they're in opposite positions right now in your natal chart. So they're triggering opposite information for you to actually, maybe it's time for you to have that phone call with your daughter right now, because it's triggering that. But your path in life is one of it could be in healing, it could be in health, or it could be I'm just looking at it that the way the clock has been set for you, or your path in life has been set for you, is that people should be able to, like, come to you, or you should be expecting people, friends, social networks, that you would be the one that are, like, putting all this stuff together.
Right.
And maybe like you said, over the last 10 years, you've kind of gotten away from that. And it looks like your path now is trying to get you back on that.
Right. Yeah, I have no clue how.
So let me put this in context here for you. Thank you, Teresa, for that. Let's try to keep it under 10 minutes, Teresa.
That was so helpful.
But, sorry about that.
That was good.
Thank you,
That's
Teresa.
Good. Yeah, it'll allow Stacy to go on her turn here. But that was awesome. Yes. That was good.
Yes.
That's why I said, Teresa, 7 minutes goes by quick. Especially when you're vibing at a high frequency and sharing information. We all want to help. I'm glad that happened. Stacy, you have something to chime in on this? It's your turn on this.
Yeah, I do. And I just want to remind everybody that this is recorded so you can go back and listen. Brad will post it after the show. You can go back and listen to what was said. If you're like, oh, what did they say about that? You can always
I'm trying to write it down, and I'm like, oh, no, I got to listen.
Yeah, no, you'll post it after we're finished, and you can go back and listen to it again.
Great, thank you.
And Brad does a great job. You can find him at DadBrad100. That is his, if you want to message him directly.
Okay.
You get more of an in-depth. He does like 1.5 hour long readings. He does a great job. So I just wanted to let you know about that. And
wonderful.
Both of our stuff is on here, on the wall too. So, and for you, I think I sent you a message, Beth. Let me see.
Yes, I think I saw it just flashed.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
I sent you a direct message too, because I was getting for your shoulder and neck, even like a Reiki or an attachment clearing could help with that pain. I worked with someone the other day that had pain in their neck and shoulders for years. And they had been to different places, chiropractor, massage, and hadn't had any relief. And we did one session and it was gone.
Oh,
and
wow.
She was ecstatic. So just want to throw that out there. And I went ahead and, I just want to throw that out there for you. I went ahead and did Know, Grow, and Let Go cards. So these is what I got for tarot, since that's what you requested. And so what you needed to know, I got is the Justice card.
Oh, wow. That comes up a lot for me.
So what you need to know is, like, just justice is like balance, fairness, equality. It just urges you to follow your moral compass and maintain integrity in all aspects of our lives.
Okay.
It's just the universe is just reminding you to consider all sides of the situation before making any decisions, and to be mindful of how our actions impact others.
Right.
And it just also wanted you to remind you that, karma is always in motion, and the universe will ensure that fairness is ultimately served.
Yeah.
To trust that your efforts towards like living a just and ethical life will be rewarded. So the universe is wanting you to know that. So what you needed to grow, which is kind of interesting, because you feel like this was an ending. I feel this is almost like how you are now with all your people.
Oh my God, yes.
Many of us are in this situation now. I feel like I don't have anybody in my life right now either, so I totally get that.
Oh, sorry, it's so hard.
But I totally get it. But most of my friends are like online here, so because there's a huge community of people that are like-minded, and you just have to ask the universe to bring them to you. But what you need to grow is the Ten of Swords, where you're like, what? It just means that you're experiencing like a spiritual awakening or transformation, and to release old patterns and beliefs. It can be challenging, but it's a necessary part of your journey. So embrace the process of letting go and trust that you're being guided towards a deeper understanding of connecting with your higher self. And if you would like help connecting with your higher self, I can help you with that. And, you need to be your true, authentic self and not be living for someone else. So this is kind of how you need to grow. It's be yourself. And it's, you have to be brave to do that. So just keep growing in that.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So what you needed to let go is the Six of Cups. So you might be holding on to the past, being nostalgic, but that could be hindering your progress. So you need to focus on the present and create new experiences, positive experiences, and break free from old patterns. And your life will be filled with fresh, happier memories if you're living in the moment instead of the past. So that's what you needed to let go. So I hope that resonates with you.
Yeah, it does, very much so. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's awesome. And thank you so much.
Oh, amazing. Thank you all. I needed this so badly. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you very much. This is great.
Yes, that was wonderful.
Next,
we have Terry next.
Terry Smith, one of my favorite light workers.
Hi. It's
Hi, Terry.
I want to just say that you guys are doing a fabulous job.
You're amazing, man.
I'm enjoying your take on things.
Yes, Terry, you're amazing. I honestly want to say, like, and to go on with Stacey saying, like, I met you from a couple years ago, and you gave me an Akashic reading, and right then I kind of latched on to you because I knew you were like the real deal then. So just doing your charts, it's an honor for me to do a reading from you.
Oh, thank you. My birthday is the 23rd of September, 1954.
She gave me all the information, so I have it. I have it already ready for you. Yeah, she sent it to me. I don't know, Kathy, did you send it already to Stacy and everybody else? Did you send it already?
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks, Catherine. I didn't know whether you were sending it on or not, so that's why I was.
Yeah. So I can already go and start this now because I wanted to do this because it's kind of interesting when you it's not that I don't know you, but now looking at your chart, it explains who you are and why you're in this position. And you're so powerful because you're definitely, Terry, you're definitely exactly what I thought you would be because you're so intuitive. You have, well, first of all, your sun sign's in 0 degrees. 0 degrees Libra in its 8th house. So you're very much an empath. Like you're like a mega empath, but with a lot of spiritual alignment. So you're very psychic. You're very intuitive. You're like an empath that has all types of weapons at your disposal spiritually that can kind of like tap into these higher realms. You can tap into your spiritual team. You're very intuitively aware of your surroundings. Having that be able, the balance of being able to kind of hit both polarities. Because the Libra one wants to stay in harmony and balance at all costs. So being that you're a lover of seeking harmony and balance, it's kind of like, that's kind of how you perceive the world, and you can kind of go at it at your will. But because it's at 0 degrees, it's not that much stuff that misses your attention. Like discernment wise, you're spot on everything, and that's why I'm like, okay. When I saw it 0 degrees, I'm like, wow, she's really connecting to these higher realms. When she does the Akashic records, it's like you really put people in that mindset, and it's because you have a gift of doing that. It's almost like you're able to perceive things as it's going along intuitively and know exactly what's going on. And that's one of your greatest gifts. And you're hyper aware that you have this because it's in your 8th house. The 8th house in your sun sign is like going through an understanding of your inner self and perceiving. You can easily perceive the motives of people around you very easily. And it's kind of like being Spider-Man with the Spidey senses on. Like being able to walk around and you can you get a Spidey sense on this thing, you get a Spidey sense on here, and you're able to penetrate every variation of emotion in order to confront your own nature with things. It's almost like wanting to investigate every kind of emotion right now for you, to kind of figure out what this is that we're in, how we're doing things, and put it into context. And that's why you're so good at reading the cards, because you can perceive it exactly for what it is. It's one of your gifts. You're like a mega empath. I would almost say that because you have this, you definitely have to protect your energy, which you do. Take salt baths regularly, crystals, which I know you use. Because you're so sensitive to energies that they probably rally around you a lot, like negative, lower forms, over attachments and stuff, because they think they can go to source for you because you're such a light, like a lighthouse type of deal. Now you do have your moon sign in Leo, and it's in the 7th house, so that's telling me right now that moon sign. So the 7th house is the house of marriage and soulmate connections. And like people who generally have it in their moon sign, generally it tells me that like either they're looking for a soulmate or they found their soulmate, but the way you learn about yourself is through an intimate partnership with someone. So there's either a soulmate or somebody in the picture, or you're just rekindling that fire with someone, but it's in that 7th house, and that's and it also can translate to you being very popular and very sociable. Like you feel at harmony when you're in some form of kind of partnership with someone that can reflect your own emotions back to you. And you're very aware of this, and it's like that's how you learn more about yourself. And because it's in Leo at 24 degrees, you're a very spiritual person. You're very psychic two of people's needs emotionally. You have great sense of humor. Leo moons love to be on stage. They love to be able to present the information. They're very affectionate, very kind people. They're basically well liked by everyone. They're highly aware of people around them, and their presence is kind of like it's like when they come into a room, they kind of make a presence with their aura, their personality. It's just a presence. It's like a presentation all around when they kind of step in. They have an instantaneous, emotional, spiritual presence that comes with you when you step on stage or when you step on the scene. They kind of like, oh, who is this? That's kind of how I see it with the Leo moons here. And they're very fond of everything: children, animals, even other people's children. It's kind of like they're childlike themselves, and it's like a mirror for them to kind of function when they're around animals and children. They kind of like can relax and be themselves a little more. They have Leo moons like to be kind of in command, but they can sit back and take the back seat a lot. And because it's very much in a high, powerful psychic alignment for you, this is perfect. Like, I feel like almost you're at that point, because as it's in your 7th house, for you to look for a soulmate or to find one, and this person's going to enter your path or cross your path, because this is the cycle that you're on right now. So I feel like that person, Mr. Right, is going to enter your path, or if he hasn't already, this is going to be a time for him from you. Another powerful alignment you got a lot of powerful alignments here. Your Mercury, you have a Mercury in Libra at 23 degrees, and it's in its 9th house. So this is that teacher energy that I'm talking about, because Mercury and Libra, they want to be perfectionists. It's like they're naturally a perfectionist. They're naturally they're great at having a positive mental attitude, and they have terrific judgment and sensitivity to energies. They're naturally great speakers, and I see this within you. Like, you're able to kind of come on stage and paint a picture for people, that when you speak, it like reaches people on a spiritual level, to the soul, in a way to where you can move people very easily. It's like that's how you connect with them. And your ideas are always balanced. They're always fair, because that's how Libra and Mercury think. They think of like both sides and all sides of situations. And sometimes it's like if they don't go on their gut feeling, a lot of the times on their first thought, then it's hard for them to make a decision. So they usually have to go on your first instinct, which you're really good at doing because of that intuitiveness. So having that developed sense, it's in your 9th house. So your perspective of higher learning right now for you, philosophy, religion, is expanded. Like, you're wanting to research and add to your storehouse of information right now as much as you can. And that's going to be great, because having it in the 9th house gives you great discernment skills. I call it powers of logic and deduction, making it make sense and breaking it down for people. So this is why I say you have that teacher energy, because people who generally have in the 9th house are generally teachers, because they learn the philosophy and they're able to disseminate it and to teach it out to the public. So, you're very direct in thought and expression, and you kind of will say what's on your mind right away. Like, that's the 9th house in Mercury. It's kind of like being very direct, adding philosophy and higher consciousness, and then kind of disseminating the information that you got in your storehouse. Your thought process is kind of suited for advancing in a position or on a particular topic, then going through cautious investigation on everything. But if it's a generalized topic, then it's like, okay, then you can break it down that way. And that's kind of how it is. It's like being that consummate student of life, going about these different philosophies, embodying it, and then being able to disciple the information to everyone, if that makes sense.
That's exactly it. Right now I'm looking at quantum physics and the quantum realm, and I'm wanting to put a course together and meditation, just to sort of introduce it to people so that they can understand it. And
yes,
like, oh, what are you inside my head today? Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Well, I understand that now. Thank you. Yeah,
you're welcome. And it's kind of meant for you to be here in this position, because all your alignments is just telling me that, to summarize, that you're supposed to be here learning this stuff, because you have a lot of powerful spiritual alignments. And then you have this, and I don't leave it at here. I'm just going to leave one more for you. But you have a rising in Cap. So and it's in 16 degrees. So I know that you're a hardworking person. You don't kind of, you have excellent social responsibility. You're very responsible. And they kind of like, the Capricorn rising is kind of like to be in control of things. They kind of like to have order. They like to have like a list of things that they can knock out during the day, and they kind of like to keep working. And that's kind of how I see it for you. It's like you're really careful on what others expect of you. You're naturally cautious of how you do things, and you slowly, methodically advance to the top of when you do things. So life isn't easy for people who have this placement in their rising, because they put a lot of pressure on themselves. They always have to, they can't just sit still and let time go by. They have to have something in order to keep them moving. They have to have a goal set. It's like they put a lot of pressure on themselves. So you have to kind of be easy on yourself. But you are at your best when you can help others and be of service to others, and basically make yourself feel good of doing these visible acts of kindness for people. I think that's when you're at your best, when you can see your efforts of hard work kind of play off in what you're doing. And this also will make you very psychic too, being in 16 degrees. So you have a lot of psychic alignments here. So I hope it helps.
Thanks, Brad.
You're welcome.
Okay, do you want me to come in here and tag team?
Can you hang on just a second, Teresa?
Sure.
Okay. Terry, did anything that I had said earlier, did any of that resonate with you?
That did anything that Brad said? Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. That I was offering to do as far as.
Oh yeah. No, I was going to say, yeah, I'd like to do the tarot, but I see you pulled some cards here for me.
I did. I wasn't sure what you wanted. And sometimes.
Yeah, that's exactly. I did want the cards. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll do tarot for you while Teresa is doing her thing. But I needed to do that ahead of time to get that going before Teresa does her thing. So, okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Casey.
And Teresa, if you can keep it under 10 minutes, that'd be great. Okay.
You probably will have to time me. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm home now. I was driving before, so I was just like, I just wanted to make sure that when somebody's hearing what I'm saying, I don't want them to misunderstand what I'm saying. So, but this is going to be easy with Terry. Terry, I'm tag teaming here with Brad. Now, I know you heard earlier, I practice a different system. So things kind of land in different signs for me, but I have to totally agree with him. You have a marking in your chart. It's very rare. And we call it the Sarakarpa Yoga. And what that means is if you look at this in the Indian, the Vedas, it is a cobra marked in your chart. And what that means is you have been marked for destiny. There's something that you've been brought here to do, because basically all of your planets landed within the nodes, like they're all on one side. Okay. I have this marking too. So when you have this marking, you'll kind of like you're meant to do certain things, and you don't have a lot of leadway. Like you're here for a reason. And it could even be, you might even be one of those people who you lose everything and then you gain it all back. And this might happen more than once in your life. But anyway, I just wanted to say that when I saw this, I was like, holy crap, when I saw that. Okay, now that being said, this marking in your chart is really, it's going to get triggered with this eclipse pattern, because the eclipse is going to be falling in the sign that's going to trigger your first house and your seventh house. And saying that, because that's where your nodes are, your natal, your nodal, how is natal nodes? I forgot how to say that. Your nodes. Am I saying that right, Brad? Natal nodes? Okay. They are in your first and seventh house, basically. So it's a lot to do with your identity. It could have to do with a partner if you're married. Those two are getting triggered a lot, and they're going to get triggered this summertime when the nodes move. They're going to get triggered. So there's going to be events that are going to take place for you during that time period for about a year. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to take place. Now, in saying that, I don't know if Brad mentioned it or not, because we may be looking at different houses, but you've got 3 planets in the 11th house of social networks, friends, and large corporation. And they are going to get triggered in a very positive way when the nodes move in the summertime. Okay. So they may cause you to, like you mentioned something about doing lessons or something. What I see is you're going to be extremely determined, possibly dealing with women or some sort of, there's Venus is there, what I'm looking at. So there's a Venetian connection that's going to get triggered this year. And it could be either women, money, like you might even be teaching on, Nasara. You might be teaching all of us how we can best utilize humanitarian efforts and things like that. That's kind of what I'm seeing. And okay. Currently, you do have Mars retrograde, and it's in your 8th house, and that's where your Jupiter is. So Mars is kind of messing with your blessings right now. It is retrograde, so it's let me see. It's very close to it right now. So you might even be feeling like your innate abilities are being a little bit hampered right now. Because it's like 2 degrees away from it. And then there's usually like a 4 to 7 degree orb when you will get triggered for things. So we call that karma ripening in our method. So you might be having some things happening right now that are a little out of your control, that might have to do with the esoteric knowledge. You might be wanting to learn something and having some difficulty because of that Mars. It is not going to be there forever. It's just a transit. It is going to be going into your 7th house. So I don't know if you're married, but it is going to trigger some events with, if you're not married, I'd say people that you work with, maybe even people that it's in the 7th house of partnerships, business partnerships. It could trigger some upset there. And then it's going to finish, because it's going, when Mars goes retrograde, it takes about 5 months. So it's currently going through your 8th house. It's going to go into your 7th house, and then it's going to go back. It's going to go forward. So it's going to go over your Jupiter again, and then it's going to go over, well, actually, I didn't realize your Jupiter and Uranus sit really close together. So things happen for you suddenly. As far as other people's money, I mean, you may have all of a sudden, you might be one of those people who get a lot of windfalls very easy and sudden changes. So with that being said,
that would be welcome.
Mars might be affecting that a little bit, or it's asking you to be a little bit more strategic if these things are coming up. Some little bit of upset, rumors, if you're trying to learn something new, if that's hindering you a little bit, it's because of the Mars aspect. So just keep that in mind. Okay. Other than that, I also see when the nodes move, they are going to move into your 9th house, and that's where I see your moon. And again, I've mentioned this to other people. Moon is mother. If mother has already passed on, she might be speaking to you, or you might be dealing with like finding things of hers, or mother's going to be prominent because the south node is going to go over the moon, and the south node is usually things of the past, like past life, past things, spirituality. It might trigger either you just being emotionally connected with people, or something to do with the mother. You're going to find things like that taking place. Let me see. I think that's all I see of Third house is going to be very much triggered as well. Guys, am I running out of time? I'll end on her third house.
Yeah.
Third house is where the north node, which is the direction everybody's going to be going, is going to be triggered for you. You don't have any planets there, so it's just going to be a standard. You're going to feel pretty much you're going to feel a little bit more on fire when it comes to your communication skills, or just if you have a YouTube channel or if you have a channel on Telegram, it might get a little bit more attention because that the node is going in there and kind of lighting things up with what you have to say.
When is that?
This is all transiting, not all of it, but the nodes are moving early summer. Okay. So, but still, that's where the third house is triggering it's going to trigger your seventh house, and it's also going to trigger the seventh house is the partnership house. And then it's also going to trigger your 11th house of friends, social networks. So, and working with women, I see you working, doing things, maybe some karmic events dealing with women are going to really be sparked and coming up during that timeline. So for a full year after the summer and going into 2026.
Thank you. That gives me some direction.
All
yeah.
Right.
And Stacy, did you already go on this?
Yeah, I sent Terry some cards. I wasn't sure what she was wanting to do. So I went ahead and pulled the World cards. So I pulled the Sun, which is a beautiful card. So it was saying to open your heart to the enormous growth ahead. So that was nice. I pulled the Lion card for you. So it's number 16. So and the Lion card was saying to let's see, harness the loyal and protective aura of the lion and charge ahead magnificently. So I liked that. And I also got the Wish card for you, which is also a beautiful card. I love this deck. And the Wish card is saying your heart's desire is ready to come true. So I liked that.
Ooh,
so since you wanted tarot, I went ahead and did what you needed to grow, know, and let go. So what you needed to know was the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands is about feedback. So if people can put your mics on mute if you're not speaking. I don't know if it's me, but I hope it's not me. The Eight of Wands is about embracing change and taking advantage of opportunities that are presented to you. Thank you. That's better. This card represents a time when the universe is conspiring in your favor and you're poised to make great strides towards your goals. So the universe wants you to know and to encourage you to keep moving forward and trust that everything will fall into place. This is a fast-moving card. So everything's going to be moving really fastly. But your universe is aligning everything with your desires and you're being guided towards success. So use this time to take bold actions and make big moves towards your aspirations. So that was a really good card. What you needed to grow was the Two of Cups. So you're being guided to form deep connections or partnerships that can enhance your growth. So surround yourself with people who share your values and beliefs as they can support and inspire you on your journey. So embrace the power of collaboration and shared experiences to foster your growth and deeper understanding. So that was what the universe wanted to tell you to grow. And then what the universe wanted to tell you to let go of was the Knight of Pentacles. So you might be experiencing some stagnation, procrastination, or maybe being stubborn or inflexible. Believe me, I can be stubborn sometimes. This card is just asking you to let go of any rigid approach you might be having or clinging to maybe outdated methods. as doing so can result in missed opportunities or just being stagnant. So just reminding you just to be flexible, and to let go of anything that might be holding you back from that. So I hope that helps.
Yeah,
that's great, Stacey. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. And last we have Tamara.
Mute her mic for a second. We having some reverb. Okay. And yeah, Tamara, welcome. Just before we get started with her, if you guys want a private session, I do offer private sessions where we go really deep into the natal chart. We go through all your houses, your galactic chart as well. You can DM me if you do want that, and it's a lot of information. It's like an hour and a half worth of information. Also, Stacey also offers private sessions, energy clearings, dowsing, tarot, Reiki healings as well. Her website is on the wall, guys, or you can DM her if you want to set up a private session with her as well. And I thank you for all the beautiful souls that's in here tonight, because there's a lot of beautiful souls in here. You guys are amazing, and I just want to thank you guys for joining here. And Tamara, welcome. Can I get your birthday, time you were born, and location, please?
Press the blue button until it turns green, then you could speak.
Oh, there we go. Okay, my birth date is September 17th, 1965.
September 17th, 1965. Okay. And what time were you born?
8:18, which is also
AM?
17.
PM.
PM.
You said PM. You said 8. You said what? You said 8:18 or 8?
Yes.
That's awesome. It is a 17.
I
right.
know.
Does anybody know what time that is military wise? My system says military time.
2018.
2018. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, say it again.
2018.
20 what?
2018.
18. All righty.
And where were you from? Where were you born?
Wallaceburg, Ontario.
Oh, so Canada?
Yes.
All right.
Wallaceburg?
Yes.
Okay.
All
right.
Spell that just in case.
WALLACEBURG.
There we go. Ontario. Got it.
We're in the middle of a storm right now, snowstorm. So hopefully it's been good so far.
Oh, wow. Now, Tamara, out of everything, I do Reiki, attachment clearing, chakra balancing, and tarot and oracle cards. Does anything resonate with you that I can do for you tonight, Tamara?
I'll leave that up to your discretion, but I'm wondering about the attachment. I do have some childhood issues with my mom still going on. I have cleared a lot, but it's still an issue. So I'll leave that up to you.
All right, I'll check for that for you, okay?
I have to say that I feel so blessed to be in this conversation tonight, because I've gotten so much from the previous ladies' readings. So it's wonderful.
I'm so glad you got to join us tonight, and I'm happy to see. I saw Kevin; he was here for a minute, and I see Candy and Paula and Nick. So good to see y'all guys here tonight with us too. And Shelly, hey Shelly.
Oh yeah, everybody. And Fifi, it's good to see you in here. I'm not done fighting. It's good to see you. Nicholas, Shelly. It's good to see you guys. Let's see here. Interesting.
Tamara, how do you say your last name?
Broder.
Okay, that's how I was saying it in my mind, but I was just curious about saying it correctly. Broder, thank you.
Okay. So yeah, Tamara, looking at your chart here, you definitely have some interesting alignments. I mean, I know you're a very spiritual person. Just looking at your sun sign being in 24 degrees, you've always had a spiritual eye to things. You've always looked at things different. It's been like this your whole life. You've been perceiving things, been shown things, getting messages. I would almost say this would make you a bit psychic with information, just because of how it comes to you. It's always been like that for you. And your sun sign's in its 6th house. Now, I'm not looking at the aspect of this. You do have a couple aspects, which is interesting. But we'll just go through your chart. But I'll just keep it on this one. The sun sign in the 6th house kind of wants you. It's like it's forcing you to improve on a lot of your health. You're drawn to a lot of holistic ways of how trying to make your health your wealth type of deal right now, and that's kind of like your mantra going into this year. Trying to be healthier, being drawn to serve others and to help everyone. It's almost like you are right now very articulate sensitive to detail with things and how things need to get done, and you're very aware of the different of the health and body. You're more aware of your health and body than you ever had. It's almost like you can feel the almost moment you get sick, and maybe that's because your body is kind of adjusting psychically to what these energies are happening. The 6th house kind of merges in with that, so it's forcing you to kind of know that your health is your wealth, your mind, your body is your temple. It's striving for perfection of the health and body right now, and that's kind of how that is for you right now. Almost it's like I want to say this part of yourself is I'm looking to see if there's any conjuncts, but you have a couple conjuncts because you have your Mars is conjunct your Neptune right now, your Mercury's conjunct Uranus, so that's interesting. Mercury conjunct in Uranus for you is like it makes you very restless and very mentally acute and sharp. You have the ability to kind of grasp concepts really quickly with things, and you also like to explore and check out new things and new concepts, and you're very optimistic with your outlook on just how you are. I almost feel like you have the gift of gab. Education's very important to you. That's kind of how your Mercury is kind of playing with me or showing me on this. It's like people with this kind of come off as a know-it-all because they're very opinionated, but it's not that. It's just that you have a storehouse of information. You're very, very well versed in information because your expansion planet is so expanded. It's at 29 degrees, the highest it can be on the degree chart, and it's in Gemini, and it's in the second. So you know. You that's why you're so opinionated, because you know a lot. It's like, and not only do you know a lot, information doesn't come to you on the run of the mill. It comes to you through everything, through your news feed, through people, through consciousness, through energy. Like, you just perceive things, and it just finds you. You don't even have to really go looking for it. It's like the information just finds you somehow. It's really interesting. So
just like this live stream.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you'll just find this live stream just like this. It'll just pop up. And that's how source, and the higher degree it is, the more God's talking to you. So he talks to you a lot through your Jupiter, a lot. He'll just pop up in your news feed, and then he'll be like, here, you need to go down this road, and you're going to go down this road, and this door is going to open. Doors just seem to open up for you every time. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't always make me very popular, though. That's one of the problems.
Oh, well, that's because you have all this. It's not a popularity contest when it comes to consciousness. You know that, like, it's not like because you know a lot, and not everybody's supposed to know what you know. You know, and that's because you're supposed to use what you know to the advantage of being able to be of service to others and yourself. But you're supposed to be able to help people with the knowledge that you're acquiring. And you're really good at doing that. The Gemini and Jupiter wants to travel and learn intellectual achievements, and it's in your second house. So you definitely you have a gift and a gab for making money. Like, it's easy for you to do. Almost to a point where You don't have to worry about it too much. It's like you can appreciate the finer things in life right now, and that's in your Jupiter. And people in their Jupiter usually don't. They don't like to take chances a lot because they're really secure in their well-being and their mental prowess. And it's such a high spiritual alignment for you that, like, yeah, this is like you get information everywhere. So your knowledge base is expanded, super expanded. You're the person to go to kind of ask the questions to kind of learn about a lot of things. Because you're always expanding your repertoire of knowledge. And then it goes right back to your moon in Gemini. Also, it's in the second house. Also in that high spiritual alignment. I would almost say this will make you very psychic as well. Having a Gemini moon, I have one too. We're very nervous and high-strung individuals with a Gemini moon, and it takes a while for us to calm down or to ease our brains because our brains are always moving.
Yes, yes.
Asking questions, and then we're answering our questions at the same time. So it's kind of like we can be hard on ourselves. We can be really shrewd on things and versatile with things and overcritical of things, and we can be really hard on ourselves. But we like to express our opinion, and we react to situations with thinking rather than direct action. We always use logic with things, and that's kind of how I see it. Like you psychically get certain things downloaded to you that makes it make sense. And since it's in that second house again for you, you're kind of secure in your thought process. You're secure in how you think and think things through. You make it make sense. You're really grounded in that regard. And like I said, wealth and material comfort kind of comes easily to you. You probably have a really nice place, probably plush, it's probably really secure for you. And your possessions, and that's how you learn about yourself, is through your security. As long as you're secure, then your emotional side is secure. So it's kind of like, I know that, like, emotionally, as long as all the things that you have are met, that's how it is. And because people usually who have this in their second house, in their moon sign, are generally generous. They love to help people. They love to give. And that's kind of how they are, because they're so secure in their finances. A lot of the times their finances do fluctuate throughout their lifetime. So they do go through a lot of emotional growth phases. But I feel like when you follow your gut feelings, a lot of times you end up being successful, regardless of what you do. So that's one thing that you're really good at. So when you trust your gut is usually right. And to keep doing that. Now you have it really grounded because you have you have 2 earth signs in your first 3 planets. So you're a really solid, grounded person. I mean, honestly, you have this Virgo alignment. It keeps you your brain kind of keeps it in these different boxes, and you have it organized on how you want to do it, and it's grounded in reality, how you think. And then your rising comes along, and it's also in Taurus, which is also another grounded alignment, and this kind of makes you crave security and comfort, wanting relaxing home environment, working hard. It kind of shows me that you are a person that will work hard to get what you want, and your house is going to be very attractive to how you want it to look, and that's how it's going to be. You have like the makings of being a healer in the inside with this, because you come from Taurus is ruling planet is Venus. So a lot of people who have this in their placement are coming from a grounded point of view on how they look at people and how they appear to people, and a lot of them do come off as being healers because they can then to kind of tell you exactly what you need to hear and kind of help you keep yourself grounded in this reality. So people with this have powerful will and drive, and they're quite stubborn on getting what they want, and they usually get what they want.
I have to ask you one thing, Brad. Did it come up as my rising is Taurus, you said? Because I always, on my chart that I looked up, I'm an Aries rising.
No, this is telling me you're a Taurus rising. Now maybe in sidereal.
Yeah, that would be sidereal.
Sidereal.
Here I have that she's Aries.
Yeah, but here on tropical, you're a Taurus rising, and it has you more or less at 10 degrees in Taurus rising. So on the other hand, people with this placement they generally can be rigid in their thinking, but they're very obedient, loyal, kind people. And like I said, you attract money to you very easily. Like your energy is kind of like that. Like you don't have to try hard. It just kind of comes to you, energetically, energy wise. And that's how things are for you. And it's a lot of alignments for you to do that. You kind of lead a good life without being excessively concerned about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to worry about too many pitfalls or worries. You're very practical and purposeful in how you do things. And that's kind of how I see it for you on that aspect. Now, you do have, let's see here. One more alignment over. Just and I'll end this here. Your Venus in Scorpio. That Venus in Scorpio right there makes it really how everything is for you. You're a very intense person. Sometimes this placement can be difficult for a lot of people because they have intense passions for things. It's hard for them to get out. You know what I mean? And
I
share
do.
everything. They can be a little obsessive with sometimes, but it's okay because that's how you are. You also may feel like you can't have like a run-of-the-mill basic relationship. It's got to be something where everybody's all in and all inclusive. It's all in or nothing type deal.
Well,
So,
I don't like anything frivolous. I like a
yes.
deep, intense conversation,
Right, exactly. You want it to be all 100% or nothing, and
Yeah.
that's how it is for you. And it's in your 6th house, so it's telling me that you have like this strong connection to be of service and to kind of you might feel somewhat restricted in the expression of how you share your passion. And because you kind of want everything to hit all the boxes because you're looking for this perfect mate right now. You're looking for, or you're looking for your mate, your lover to be perfect and hit all the boxes, the checks. On the other hand, it can also try to change and have you want to help other people right now, be more on a humanitarian streak, because you take kind of the 6th house takes delight on doing mundane things, everyday tasks, and they're not overly concerned on the grand statement when they do it. So this could make you a really detailed artist, like in your Venus, and making you have a talent where functionality and beauty are kind of merged together, which I almost would say that yes. That's kind of how this is. Or it could make you very concerned on your health and your physical body right now. Like you're just overly concerned over it to the point where you want to make sure you hit all the marks and you're taking care of what you need to take care of. Because you're really aware that the road to your higher purpose starts with you, and simple steps of how you start and enjoy life and how you make of it. What you make of your life makes it for you. And that's kind of where it is in the 6th house. Does that make sense?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
Okay.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Brad.
Yeah, you're welcome. Teresa, I'll let you or Stacy, either one here.
Okay. I just have my grandson in here, so he just left. I'm like, Mommy, Grandma's still on the phone. Okay. Tamara, is Tamara, right?
Yes.
Okay. So since you're already familiar with sidereal, I'm just going to kind of remind you so that when you look at your chart, you can kind of remember that there's a lot of changes going to be happening this year. This is going to be a crazy year. Everybody already senses it, but
I don't know. It feels like the last 10 years have been crazy.
Yeah, well, you felt that personally because there was a lot going on in your 1st house of Aries. You had Uranus there forever. And then we had the nodes there last year. So all the eclipses were happening in your 1st and 7th house. And that's very intense because it's happening to you personally and you're feeling it. So you probably have gone through a lot of changes. They did move to your 12th house and your 6th house. 12th house is the house of endings, seclusion. 6th house would be more of the house of like he went through and said health and healing, and could be pets, sometimes pending karma, that karma that you've got to deal with in your lifetime. Your sun is sitting there and the nodes were there. So you may have had some losses. Maybe, I don't know if you maybe went through some work issues this year with the eclipse pattern going on, because it did seem to go over your sun. You maybe even had some issues with your father.
Sorry about that. My father, what did you say?
May have even had some issues with your father, or he had issues.
Well, my biological father, I didn't have a relationship with. I don't know if he's alive still. And my adoptive father, he passed about 11 years ago. Yeah.
Okay. So you may have just noticed this with when it comes to the sun, that's kind of like your vitality. It's kind of like your lifeline, your soul contract. Why you came here on Earth in the first place is usually seen through the sun. Mm-hmm. So you may have felt because that's the house of your health. So you may have had some issues this year based on the eclipse pattern, because the south node went through your sixth house. The north node, which is the direction everybody faced or was dealing with in the world, is basically in your 12th house. So you may have dealt with some endings, some crazy stuff going on behind the scenes that you learned about, because you're going to discover these things when the north node's going through that area. But it's going to be going backwards this year. So it will be moving to your 11th house of social networks and friends. And it's also going to be moving the south node. It will be moving there, which is losses or repeating things. And the north node is going to be moving into your 5th house. So what you're probably going to be experiencing and have been experiencing, because you've been going through a Saturn return, and your Saturn in your natal chart is retrograde. So it's very intense, but it's in its own sign. According to Vedic astrology, it's in its own sign. So you may have been going through some karmic issues because it got reset with friends. You may have lost some friends or realized they're really not friends.
Right.
But the node is going to be moving in there. It's like Saturn's moving out and then the node is moving in. And the north node is the direction that you're going to pay attention to, but it can be kind of disruptive. So you may be trading, getting rid of karmic friends and getting crazy friends. You might be thinking, what the heck is going on in my friend zone?
Like crazy good, I sure hope.
Well, we'll find out, won't we? It could go either way. It's just there's going to be a lot of energy going into your friend zone.
Okay.
And while you're getting energy going into the friend zone, social networks, making that networking with people, there may be even a loss in the 5th house. So there might be a loss with creativity. I don't know if you have children. There might be some issues with keeping them on track.
Yes, I have.
You do have children?
I do, 4 kids. Yeah.
Okay, so you're probably going to have to keep an eye on making sure they're on track, because you have in your natal chart Uranus, Pluto, and Mercury, and you were literally born a year after me. So we have a lot of things. You have a lot of things in your chart I'm familiar with. When I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, I have Uranus and Pluto in my chart as well, and those are very. They set the tone for generations. So our generation was set to have a certain, Brad would probably have it a little bit different, but because you're familiar with sidereal, I'm comfortable with just sharing that with you. This is where, when we were kids, we were introduced to TV, and how kind of like the MK Ultra took place through our TV. As we were kids, It kind of came through our generation. So that's going to be triggered with losses. So I'm thinking you're probably going to be noticing with the kids, maybe even they're going to have sudden changes to what they watch, what they're interested in, because it's in your 5th house zone.
I see. And
your communication with them might be changing up somewhat. Through this, when I say eclipse, this is like this. These are where the eclipses are going to be happening for you, in this zone. So, and it might be a repeat, because sometimes they're not losses. Sometimes they're repeat things. They could be like themes repeating. You're like, oh, we're here again. I thought we fixed this 10, 20 years ago. Okay. So that's what I'm kind of seeing there. Now your first house, because
10 minutes,
okay.
Teresa.
Do you want me to finish, or are we done?
Finish. Just keep it Keep it short, okay?
Okay, so I just wanted you to keep in mind that because the eclipses are going in your 5th house, it's also going to affect you, your 1st house, and it's also going to affect your 9th house. So any kind of learning, higher education, or dealing with foreign people, there may be some losses or a repeat. And then the increase is where it's going to be in your 11th house, will trigger your 7th house of dealing with other people, maybe a partner. And it's also going to trigger your 3rd house, your communication or your community that you live in. That's going to be enhanced. And you have Jupiter there. So you might have a really good year with dealing with people that live near you or that you do a lot of communication with.
Wonderful. Well, that's good.
Okay. So that's all I have.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay, so Tamara, I did go ahead and do an attachment release for you, and I sent you a direct message with what I released for you. So you should be feeling much lighter. If you were kind of paying attention to your body, as I know it's kind of hard because there was a lot going on, but if you were kind of sitting with yourself, you may have even experienced, some people kind of feel like tingling or goosebumps, but you should be energetically feeling lighter, because I did remove several things from you, but I sent you a direct message on that. So yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And please remember to drink some water, especially if you have an attachment release or any kind of release. It helps move the energy when she does that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Brad's going to probably play that 12D clearing for everyone afterwards, if you can hang around. Listen to that. That's an awesome clearing, too, for everyone.
Yes. We're going to do that shortly in the next minute or so. We'll set that up now. And yeah, guys, the clearings help release any attachments. Also, it helps clear the space of your energy because we are spiritual batteries. And a lot of us have the ability to clear our rooms, our houses, our neighborhoods, our cities, towns. Like, we're that powerful of souls to actually do that. And some of us are anchors for this energy. So I love to play these clearings at the end to kind of release any energy and attachments that's in the room, or because a lot of it's energy or through the phone or around us to kind of set the tone for the evening. So that way we put a case of platinum light enclosure around us as we go forward.
I put that on the bottom of the wall for you too, Brad.
Oh, you did? Okay,
yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Stacey.
You're welcome.
All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and play the clearing here. 1 second.
And if you would like your full reading from Brad, he is DabBrad100. He does a great job.
To Infinite Creator, I give all my gratitude. I welcome the Christed consciousness here in this place. I welcome the Amorea flame. I welcome the original vibration, frequency, and intention of God Creator Source into this space. To any and all lost souls, fragmented souls, scared souls, souls that are weary and even mischievous, you are welcome here to the Christed Consciousness. You are welcome here that you may be taken to the perfect place Infinite Creator has for you in this universe. You are welcomed to be healed, to be made whole, to be in union with Infinite Creator. If anything tells you that you are separated from the love of God Creator Source, that is a lie. come to the Christed consciousness and be one with God. If you choose not to, you must leave this space and any being connected to this space. I send you forth with love. To any and all malevolent forces, powers, principalities, fallen angelics, archdemons, demonics, artificial intelligence, metatronics, and/or archons, you have no consent to be anywhere in, on, or around my physical body, spirit body, or biospheres in all timelines, dimensions, densities, and universes. You have no consent to be anywhere in, on, or around anything or anyone that is spiritually connected to me in all timelines, dimensions, densities, and universes. You have no consent to be anywhere in, on, or around anything or anyone that is tangibly or intangibly connected to me in all timelines, dimensions, densities, and universes. You have no consent to be anywhere in, on, or around any place I walk, for where I walk is sovereign ground. To any and all malevolent forces, powers, principalities, fallen angelics, archdemons, demonics, artificial intelligence, metatronics, and all archons, you must go forth from where you came from and never come back. You are not allowed to attach yourself to anyone or anything upon your departure. You are not allowed to take anything or any essence with you upon your departure. I hereby welcome the D12 Platinum Flame, Star Merkaba, from my divine blueprint. I bring forth this platinum flame through the column of my energy centers, all the way to the core of the planet Earth, that I may be one with the frequency of this beloved planet, that I may be one with the plasma frequencies of the Crystal River Fail-Safe Host, bringing forth this platinum flame. My Merkaba star establishing a platform 6 inches below my morphogenetic chakra 12. And upon this platform, I build my impenetrable platinum vortex. This cylinder shield in and through each chakra and around my entire energy fields, 4 feet above my crown chakra, establishing my above platform, establishing a seal and enclosure of pure platinum silver light. I send forth my platinum flame up to my divine blueprint, securing my D12 shield.
I hope everybody feels lighter now, feels great. The energy, allowing the energies to clear here. this is a wonderful evening, like usual. We were able to exchange and help connect to a higher purpose. The time right now, and the timeline is very, very much very chaotic in our outer world, and we're actually going from within to find these answers. And it's a blessing to have you all in here tonight, being able to all chime into your energy. So I thank you guys for really coming in and supporting this and finding out more about yourself. I'm going to leave all the links on the wall. I'm going to end the live portion of this, but we can sit and chat and talk for a few minutes before I close this down here. And if you guys are interested in any private sessions, I left all the links on the wall, and I'll link to contact me on the private session here as well. So let me end the live here so that way we can get this posted.